Hi and welcome everyone to another video. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you some of the best players to buy ahead of Game Week 7 of Fantasy Premier League. But now let's just get into it. Okay, so now in the first part of the video we're going to discuss about two strikers who I think that are going to be great buys obviously for Game Week 7, Gyökeres and Strand Larsen. Before talking about them, I want to mention that someone like Jarrod Bowen is on my radar and he would be on this list, but his fixture in Game Week 7 is going to be against Arsenal, so that's why I think that Jarrod Bowen can wait one more game week. And if I want to buy a striker in Game Week 7, it would be between Gyökeres and Strand Larsen. Now obviously different price brackets, it really depends how much money you have in the bank and how much budget do you have, but in their own regards I think that both of them are going to be great for Game Week 7 and after that obviously, because the fixtures are decent. As you can see, for Gyökeres, for Arsenal, from Game Week 7 onwards they're going to go on a nice little run: West Ham, Fulham and Crystal Palace in the next three. The same could be said against Wolverhampton. They're going to play against Brighton, Sunderland and Burnley. So yeah, maybe you're asking, as you can see from this graphic, Strand Larsen didn't score any goals and didn't get any assists this season, so how can I recommend him as a good player to buy? But again, he's on penalties. Wolverhampton at the moment are more of a team to target, I get that, but he at that price, 6.4 millions, I think that he's one of the best, if not the best, cheap striker in the game. So if you really need some cash, I think that Strand Larsen is going to be a great option, and obviously he missed some games, so that's another cause why he didn't score a lot of points in the first start of the season. So yeah, depending on your budget, obviously, if you have the budget, I would just go for someone like Gyökeres. He didn't impress me in some games this season. In the last game against Newcastle, to be honest with you, I just thought that he was a little bit better than he was before. It's a shame that we didn't get to see who would have took the penalty for Arsenal. Maybe it was Gyökeres, maybe it was Bukayo Saka. Personally, I think that Gyökeres is going to be on penalties, but again, until they're going to get one, we're never going to be 100% sure. So I would prefer the moment Gyökeres. Now, if you ask me in 2, 3, 4 game weeks time, maybe I'm going to think that Bukayo Saka is going to be a better pick overall if I had to choose between them, but the fixtures are there. He blanked a lot against tougher oppositions. They played against Man City, they played against Liverpool, they played against Newcastle. Now let's see how what Gyökeres can do against West Ham at home, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Sunderland. So the fixture run is amazing for Arsenal. And I just think that he's great. As you can see also, his XG is not that bad. And again, he had 4 big chances. He scored 3 goals in the start of the season, so he's not been that poor that maybe a lot of people are thinking. So yeah, anyway, if you're looking to buy a forward this game week, I think that both of them are going to be great options. Okay, so next up we're going to talk about Enzo Fernandez from Chelsea and Ismail Assar from Crystal Palace, the later being my favorite, one of my favorite cheap midfielders at the moment. So I'm just going to give it to you straight. If I had to pick one midfielder probably to buy for Game Week 7, it would be Ismail Assar, although yeah, the fixtures don't scream a lot of goals, right? Everton, Bournemouth, Arsenal, but I just think that at that price, he's probably going to be one of the best midfielders in the game. We saw what he can do against Liverpool. It was a shame that he got injured in the first game weeks of the season, but as I said before, I'm going to say it again, his expected data is amazing. 2.75 XG created in just 4 appearances, and yeah, his underlying numbers are great. He's getting a lot of chances. That's why he's maybe going to be a little bit frustrating for you at some points, like he was in the last part of the last season. But again, I think that he's one of the best, alongside Njay, alongside Semenyo. You can't go wrong really with if you want to buy a cheap midfielder, if you need that cash, if you want to downgrade maybe a player you're not really happy, someone like Mohamed Salah, I think that Ismail Assar is a great option. But now let's talk a little bit about also Enzo Fernandez. I think that he's a great option at that price. Again, obviously now he's playing as a number 10 for Chelsea, so he's getting a lot of chances. He's maybe also going to be on penalties. He took one while Palmer was not on the pitch. So again, the problem is probably from game week 8 onwards, Cole Palmer is going to be back, so probably he's not going to have the same role. But again, and also probably you don't really want to buy him ahead of Liverpool in game week 6. But overall, in the long run, the fixtures are great for Chelsea, and I think that he's a great pick. As you can see, he scored 3 goals, he got 2 assists. He's chipping in with assists, with goals. His underlying numbers are decent. If maybe Cole Palmer is going to struggle with his injury, if he's going to play as a number 10 for Chelsea, he could be a bargain at some point. So Again, there are other options in midfield if you want to go there. It really depends how much budget also do you have, because if you want to go for a cheaper midfielder, you can go for someone like Reinders, for someone like Anderson, for someone like Chaka, from someone like Caicedo, someone like Unjae, Semenyo are obviously great buys for Game Week 7, but I talked a lot about them, and that's why I didn't include them, to be honest with you, in this video. Semenyo obviously still a great buy. So again, if you want to buy a cheap-ish midfielder for Game Week 7, probably I would go for Ismail Assar. In the next part, we're going to discuss a little bit about some of the best defenders to buy for Game Week 7. Now, again, no surprises here. Gabriel from Arsenal is here, and yeah, he's a really obvious pick. As I said before, the fixtures for Arsenal are going to be great from Game Week 7 onwards. I think that they are the best defense in the Premier League, and he's not on this list because he just scored 13 points against Newcastle. Trust me, it's not that. I just think that he's a great option. He's the most reliable defender you can go from Arsenal. Again, if you want to take some risk, you can go for someone like Calafiori, someone like Saliba, someone like Timber. I just don't think that it's worth the headache, to be honest with you. That's why I gone with him, with Gabriel, on my wildcard 6. So again, he also has a little bit of an attacking threat. We saw that against Newcastle. He got 3 clean sheets, now the same number of clean sheets as someone like Senesi, who's probably, yeah, he's the top scorer defender in FPL. Everybody knows that. He got defensive contributions in every game week. He's the only defender who achieve that, and obviously I think that he's probably one of the best defenders. Again, if I have to pick right now, I would go for Gabriel for Game Week 7, but I think that Senesi should be in your team at some point because he's just really consistent. Bournemouth are not a bad defense, they are really good, despite they losing a lot of defenders from last season. Pretty much all their defense gone, but they are still a good team, attacking wise, defensive wise. So yeah, there are other options. If you still want to go for Tarkovsky, he's going to be probably decent for defensive contributions, but I just think that I would rather go for Senesi. And yeah, if you want a cheap defender, probably he's the best one. Richards, Anderson, these defenders are still good buys for Game Week 7 if you're really interested in buying some defenders, but yeah, I would rather go for Gabriel or Senesi at the moment. Okay, now in the last part, I want to discuss a little bit about two midfielders who are really cheap. So again, depending on your strategy, maybe you're wildcarding, maybe you have Mohamed Salah into your team, maybe you want to get Erling Haaland. It could be useful for you to buy a cheap midfielder, right? So again, if you are in those situations, then maybe these two players are going to be useful for you. Again, if you have Bruno Fernandes and you're tired of him, I don't think that buying someone like Anthony or Granit Xhaka is probably the best strategy, but I think that these two are going to be decent. Now, again, obviously, someone like Anthony can't be ignored. He was amazing in the first 6 games of the season. He scored 4 goals, as you can see. He got 1 assist. His underlying numbers are decent. He got a lot of big chances. The fixtures are okay. Aston Villa away, Leeds, Wolverhampton. Now, again, he's playing for Burnley, so probably that's the only reason why a lot of people are not buying him at the moment. But again, I think that we should take a look into that. He's getting good minutes. He's going to play for Burnley. He's going to get chances. He's going to score some goals. So again, is he going to continue on that rate? Probably not. I don't think so. But if you want to punt on a cheap midfielder who probably is going to be just your 8 attacker, who you're not going to play every game week, I think that going for someone like Anthony could do no harm. Again, if you're going to need him at some point, yeah, you just don't mind playing him, right? He's in good form at the moment. I'm not sure if that's going to continue, but yeah. Now, obviously, these two midfielders are completely different. If you're buying someone like Granit Xhaka, he's great for defensive contributions. He's on set pieces for Sunderland. I think that Sunderland are also a better team than Burnley. And yeah, most likely, if you're buying Chaka, he's going to sit on your bench as your 8th attacker. But if you need him to play, he's someone similar to Caicedo from Chelsea. So again, he's decent for defensive contributions on set pieces. He's going to get you some attacking returns, and also we know from the past then that he has an eye for a goal. So yeah, I think that he's great. Again, the options were last game week Caicedo, Reinders, Anderson, Dewsbury Hall again, probably not because he's suspended for game week 7. There are a lot of really good options at the moment in midfield at that price, but I just think that these two are also in that category of good buys, if you really need them, obviously. Thank you so much for watching this video this long. It really means a lot and I really appreciate it. And also, if you're new around here, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye. Bag gura lor, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt le zic de va. Apoi îmi bag gura lor.